Today, Paul Ryan proved he has no problem telling the big lie in order to pass tax cuts. Here he is claiming that the tax cut that will explode the deficit and dramatically increase the national debt is fiscally responsible.
Today, we passed a budget that is fiscally responsible. It strengthens our national defense, and it's really good for taxpayers. This budget that we just passed in the House today brings us one step closer to historic tax reform.
Joining us now, Stan Collender, contributor to Forbes magazine. He's one of the few people who has served on the staffs of both the House and Senate budget committees. And Stan, we have come a long way in our politics that a giant tax cut that explodes the deficit and dramatically increases the national debt can be called by someone like Paul Ryan fiscally responsible.
Well, in one sense, it's just a continuation of tax cuts that we've had under the Reagan administration, under the Bush administration. Remember, Reagan had to sign 10 tax increases afterwards to get the deficit back down. This one is not going to be just the biggest tax cut in history. It's going to be the biggest increase in the deficit and debt that we've seen from any president, legislated increase, probably in history. I think we're talking about a permanent increase, a permanent annual deficit of about $1 trillion. The real problem here is not going to be the budget, or was never going to be the budget. It was going to be the actual tax bill. And in addition to state and local tax deductibility, we've got the 401k problem, where the president says he's against doing anything that would hurt 401ks. But Chairman Brady of the Ways and Means Committee says it's still a live option. And every time one of these provisions goes down, every time they realize, the leadership realizes they can't go forward with them, the bill gets more and more costly, at which point the Freedom Caucus, which so far has shown itself to be a bunch of hypocrites on this, at some point the Freedom Caucus is just going to throw up its hands and say we cannot agree to a deficit that's this large.